I tell you, this is such a beautiful area, but these flies, oh my goodness. G'day.
G'day.
Thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely. If I had to choose one thing that could potentially spoil our life on the road and living in a caravan and our outdoor adventures, it would have to be...
Running out of bacon. Yep.
No, Paul.
No?
Mosquitoes. Mosquitoes and other biting critters.
That too. But bacon's a big one.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't have a camping without bacon.
Sure.
No, there's nothing worse than sitting outside and getting landed on by mozzies or midges or even just flies buzzing around while you're trying to cook your bacon.
Or when you're laying in bed and you hear that buzzing sound of mosquito.
Oh, yeah.
Or even worse, when you feel something crawling on you in bed.
Not me.
No, not you.
No, well, like, I think I've seen this quote that's been attributed to the Dalai Lama of all people. He said, if you think you're too small to be significant, try sleeping with a mosquito. How true is that?
Oh my goodness, I can so relate to that.
Yeah. So we have actually collected quite an arsenal of gadgets, sprays, lotions and potions and things just to try and be able to cope with this sort of thing. So we thought, well, in this video we really wanted to share with you some of those things and how effective we found them to be. Come and join us as we check out some of the products available to help making the camping experience more pleasurable. Just as a bit of a disclaimer right now, just want to say that all of the products and things that we share in this video are products that we've actually purchased and used over a period of time, except for the flexitail one, where they did actually send it out to us and asked us to include it in this video about what we do to address our bug and biting insect issues.
Yeah.
However, they didn't ask us to say anything specific, so our review of it will be exactly as we experience it, as if we did actually purchase it. So the types of insect and pest issues that you face, I mean, you get your basic annoying ones like flies just buzzing around your face and around your food while you're trying to cook. But then you got the ones which really get to you, and that's the biting ones. When you're seeing mozzies land on you, you can feel the midges just nibbling at your ankles and that, and you look down and oh, they're just there. Those sort of ones, they're probably the biggest problematic ones, aren't they?
Yeah, that. And I find too that sandflies in some places, you know, they hurt when they bite too.
Yeah.
So most definitely. So some of the, I mean, they're everywhere, aren't they, Paul?
Yeah.
They're everywhere. But the places that we have really encountered them, mosquitoes in Kakadu. Oh my goodness!
Oh,
they were shocking.
I mean, that night at Mary River National Park, we were in the van and you could actually hear them outside. Like
the whole swarm of them. You could hear them coming.
And they were coming in through the Four Seasons hatch. Yeah. That's how they were getting in the van. Yeah. Even when the hatches were closed, they still seemed to crawl through between the screen and the solid piece of the hatch. It was almost terrifying sitting in the van thinking, my goodness, we cannot get away from these things.
Yeah. And we haven't had that incident before or after.
No, but they were just so bad there.
Yeah. And also in Kakadu, where the yellow billabong, you remember every time you open the door, you'd let in 7 or 8 mosquitoes. Yeah. So wouldn't you agree, Paul, that, you know, that in Kakadu it was probably the worst mosquito encounters that we've had?
I mean, there's probably other places just as bad, but we haven't been there yet.
Yeah, we haven't been there yet. That's right, absolutely.
But then the midges up at Nullarbor, again, they were really bad. They were those tiny little ones, and they're like just little black dots. You couldn't even see their wings, they were that small.
Yeah, they were tiny.
Could you feel them bite?
Oh, yeah. It's the worst reaction I've had to any biting insect. And they
just
were
covered in dots.
Yeah. It was
and you weren't
awful.
the only one. There's other people we've seen up there.
Just all covered in bites, weren't they?
That was shocking. Yeah. And then There's also like flies. I remember Wilcania in outback New South Wales. The flies out there were just thick, and you couldn't even talk without a fly going into your mouth.
And you certainly couldn't cook outdoors.
No
chance. Because they were just swarming at your food. So what we'd like to show you today is our experience in the last 3.5 years of being on the road, what has been effective for us.
And what we've used to actually address these issues.
And manage the insects, on the road.
And probably the first thing, and the most tried and tested, I suppose, of them is the aerosol sprays, like your Aerogard and insect killer, Mortine and things like that, where you just spray and kill the insects. Like if you're stepping out of the van for a minute, you might go and spray the van first so that everything in it that's unwanted in there just dies. And we'll use surface spray outside the van to spray on the legs of the caravan and around the wheels and things like that, in an effort to try and prevent ants crawling up into the caravan. We haven't had a lot of issues with ants, but we have had some in the past. Anyway, I know that helps out a fair bit, having the surface spray there. So those two things are probably most common standard ones. But even the fly spray, it's not something we like to use a lot in the van, because it does land on whatever food you have out.
Your pillows, your bedding.
And we'd prefer not to be, I suppose, breathing that in.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
But we will use it.
We will, absolutely. But it's usually one of those last resort things, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah.
But generally, when I clean, I put essential oils in the water that I know insects don't like.
Yeah.
And things like peppermint and citrus kind of based essential oils and even oregano. But to make it smell good, I use the citrus based oils and peppermint, and then I kind of clean as I clean even the floor, with the essential oils in some soapy water.
Yeah, and we did that around the Four Seasons hatch as well.
Yeah.
Like wiped around the edge of that, and that has actually worked really well. We've never seen any issues with bugs from that since been doing that sort of thing.
No, that's right, we haven't.
Another tried and tested one is the lotions and sprays you put on yourself. Like
personal repellents.
Yeah, personal repellents. We have used in the past Aerogard, Bushmans and things like that. Again, by choice, we prefer not to use those ones for various reasons, and have gone for a more natural one, haven't we? Like the Good Riddance and things like that.
Yeah. So having tried quite a number of them, our favourites are these. They're deep free, but also really effective for about 4 hours. And I find that if I have a shower in the morning and I lather myself in Good Riddance, then probably until about lunchtime I'm really good.
And the scent that's in them, people have commented on the scent of your perfume.
Yeah.
For you just to tell them that's my insect repellent.
And that's what I love about this, Paul. It doesn't smell bad. It smells really lovely. And it's actually moisturising. So as you rub it on your body, it's actually really moisturising. You don't have to worry about washing it off at the end of a day if you can't be bothered.
Yep.
And
I found this one, the no-bite stuff, I haven't really used that too much because, interestingly, mozzies and other insects don't bother me as much as you, do they?
No.
But this one, this is great for keeping the flies away. Like I'll spray some of that on myself, and it works really well. Keeps the flies off.
It does. But it's also really effective for mosquitoes. And so if I'm going out again in the afternoon and I can't be bothered rubbing myself with cream all over, I'll just spray this on me.
On your clothes?
On my clothes, on me, on my skin, and it's absolutely fine. Yep. Again, it's DEET free. It uses the, I think it's called the lemon eucalyptus oil, and that's the active ingredient in this. But I could highly recommend these. It also comes with a rescue balm, which if you are bitten, which of course will happen, you get bites, you need to then find ways of
treating it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So another common way of treating and managing bug infestations is the zappers, the bug zappers and blue light type things. And we've tried a couple of those. The one of them is the traditional outdoor zapper that actually at night attracts bugs away from you. We got this sort of thing, a gecko, which has worked well for when we've used it. We don't actually use it a lot, but when we are sitting out here and if you've got it up and running, it'll do what it's supposed to do. Yeah. Now, the thing with this type of unit is it has a power cord, so you need to plug it in somewhere for it to work. So it's using your 240 volts. Not a lot of it, but it does use it. The other electronic gadget we use is this one. Yeah. And
still going really well.
We run it most nights, during the night, in the van, where it's got a blue light up the top here that attracts bugs. It's got a fan that when they fly over the top of the blue light, it sucks them into this little cage in the bottom here, which is where they get trapped in there. Many times in the morning we'll come out, we'll find a handful of bugs in there or more. Some nights you don't catch anything, which is good because it means there wasn't anything flying around. Yeah. But this is the one. Again, you need 240 volt for this one to run it overnight. Doesn't use a lot of power, but it does. We've used that free camping before. How much is that one of these?
Look, it's not cheap. I think it's about $170 through Pestrel. Yeah, they are quite dear, but it's incredibly effective.
Oh, good investment. Yeah. There's also this type of gadget, the fly trap, which we've actually never used it yet.
We haven't.
But I've seen them around, and they appear to be quite effective. The idea is you fill them with this foul-smelling stuff and hang it out away from where you are. The idea is that it actually attracts the flies away from what you're doing. So if you're cooking out here under the annex, well, you put this sort of away from where you're cooking, and it'll attract the flies. They'll go in through these little things, get
little holes, yeah,
and they get trapped in there. Yeah. As I said, I've seen them around the place, and people do use them, and they're quite effective for that. So, I mean, one day we may get around to using it, but haven't as yet. All right, so this collection here is. They're all similar in the sense that they create a space that bugs and insects won't come into.
So it's like an insect, they repel the insects. Yes. So they create an environment where the insects don't want to be.
Where the zappers and things attract them to it and then kill them. Well, this one actually repels them and makes it unpleasant for the mozzies or whatever to come into this area. The thermacell is the one we've tried and tested the most.
Yeah, I think we've had a thermacell pretty much the whole time we've been on the road. It's always been one of these handheld ones. Yeah. More recently, then we brought this one, which is fueled by, the liquid gas in the canister. Same principle. It heats up little metal plate, which then heats up the pad, and then it emits this kind of scent smoke. Yeah. And then creates that barrier.
This one, which has a liquid sort of thing in it, which emits a mist,
which creates the barrier.
But that's what you replace, isn't it?
That's right. That's what you replace. That's the fuel.
So charges with USB.
Yeah.
Just down here.
That's right. And then so you don't have to buy any fuel canisters to create the environment. You need to put these out 15 minutes before you plan to sit outside to create that protective barrier.
How much does one of these cost?
Well, I bought that one in Arnhem Land because ours broke down in Arnhem Land, and it was something like $60. But generally you can buy them for around $50.
Okay. The biggest issue with these is you've got to continuously replace the pads. They only last about 3 or 4
hours. 3 or 4 hours, yeah.
And then the same with the gas bottles. They eventually run out. They will do more than 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, they do about 12 hours.
So you buy a box of those things. How much does a box like that cost?
This one here is 120 hours worth of protection, and this costs $90-something. Yeah. So it's quite expensive. It is incredibly effective, and I wouldn't be without it.
What about these ones? How much are they worth?
Right, just the top bit is what you buy.
Yeah.
And that costs somewhere around the $60 mark, I think.
So this unit here, it costs about $60. The gas canister...
Around $7, I think.
About $7?
Yeah, about $7, depending on where you are.
Yeah. Now, the other one we'll use, and this one you can use indoors, is this little gadget here. And what it is basically, it's got a little a pool there that you can put some water in and drop some essential oils in it. And then it's a matter of just switching it on. Pulling this down, and away it goes.
You can see it coming up.
Yeah, there's a mist. I'm not sure if the video's picking this up, but there's a bit of a mist coming up here. So it repels insects, ants, and things as well. So anything in the van won't enjoy the scent of this that's creating, not just flying insects, but crawling ones as well. Our newest one, which I haven't really had a chance to test out yet, but I must admit, like looking at the reviews of it, I'm really loving it. This is a flexitail. It runs on the similar principle as the thermacell.
As these thermacells, yeah. Right.
Where you have the heat pads, these little pads here that just slide into the side there, and you got 2 slots, so you can actually put 2 pads in for a particularly bad infestation.
So one for this side and one for that side?
No, just a really stronger. It'll heat up both at once and put out a stronger.
Oh, wow.
So if it's a particularly bad infestation, you run both pads, and it'll clear the area of mozzies and biting insects for you. Again, it's a USB charge. The charger comes with it in this little packet. So this one, it's got a couple of settings on it. It's got the first setting, which is on. So this green setting is for just your general camp area. So what it'll do is it'll create an environment 3 meters wide around you. That'll be a protection area for the same way that the thermacells work. Then you press it again and you get this red one, which is an outdoor area, which actually burns it quicker, but it'll actually give you a bigger range of area that it'll protect you from. Now the good thing about this one is that it actually works almost instantly, apparently, with the type of thing that's in these pads. And so you can go for a hike, hang that off your backpack, and it'll create a barrier around you, so you've got this little dome of protection, if you like, that mozzies aren't going to come into, which really sounds great, doesn't it? I like that idea.
Yeah. Is it just mozzies, Paul, or is it other insects as well?
All the flying insect things. The
so
same.
mozzies, midges, sandflies.
Yeah, it keeps them all at a distance, apparently. The other side of it, to turn that off, but the other side of it is a light switch. So you got a light switch, so you can use it as a light as well, which is pretty cool. It's got different settings of light, so you got bright, a bit brighter again, and
incredibly bright.
Yeah, or off. But there's different settings for that. It's got a magnet on the bottom here, so you can actually attach it to things. I don't have anything that'll stick to out here, but they're basically a magnet. So if you had something, you could actually hang it onto it or hang it from somewhere, just from the magnet. If you wanted to hang from your poles, I'm not sure that after.
But you know the other thing that I really love about this little gadget? It actually can also work as a power bank for your devices.
Yeah, you can charge your phone from.
Yeah. So you can actually plug this side into here and then this side into your phone.
No.
No.
Wrong cable.
Okay, wrong cable. So you can actually, and it comes with the cable where you can plug it. It doesn't come with the cable. It doesn't come with the cable.
Just, you can plug your phone.
But what I love about this little gadget is that you can plug your phone into this little gadget and it will transform. It's like a power bank.
It'll charge your phone.
It'll charge your phone.
It's great.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. It's a really versatile little gadget, and it is little. It's not that heavy.
So from what we've read about the reviews now, it sounds like it's a really great little product. So we're looking forward to testing it out, and we'll let you know over time if we've used it and how it's been. But so far, I can highly recommend this. They do sell for
$89 at the moment, I think.
Yeah, just under $90. You can buy one online.
Through Flexitail.
We do have a link for a 15% discount, so you can get a discount through a link, which I'll put in the description. So if you are interested in checking it out, have a look at that.
The amount of times, Paul, I remember Kakadu, where we'd go through these, to get to the waterfalls, and I'd be going.
Yep.
Even with cream on.
You know what else this would be good for? Just go into the loo.
Oh, that's
From the caravan to the loo.
Oh, yeah.
Carry it with you, and you're not getting attacked by mozzies on the way to the loo.
Oh, when you get there.
Yeah, or even in the loo,
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing worse than sitting in the camp toilets and got these mozzies flying around everywhere.
Or you get bitten on the bum. That's happened before.
So you could take that with you to do
That's
it.
a great idea. I'm going to try that.
Love it.
I'm going to try that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, inevitably, you're going to get bitten. It just happens. And what happens when you get bitten? Well, for most people, not necessarily me, but for Wenda, she gets bumps and lumps.
I do.
And they got to be treated. I mean, I do get a little bit now and then, but not as much. Mainly midges seem to bother me more than mozzies now. I don't seem to react to mozzie bites.
Yeah, okay.
So we've got a few things that we use for treatment of them as well. There's these itchy patches here, which are quite a novel little thing. They're just little stickers that have something in them. You put them over the bite and it actually soothes it and makes it more tolerable. I don't know if it heals it or just soothes it.
No, it's supposed to actually help
With the healing process?
with the healing process. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
So we do use those, and they're not bad. They actually do work reasonably well. The other one is the crocodile hemp and neem oil balm.
Yeah, I find that really handy. I put that on at night. It does actually make a lot of difference to that kind of healing process. Yeah. Things that I do use a lot and have used for a long time is an aloe vera gel and an aloe vera massage treatment. And the massage treatment itself takes away the itch for a little while and also helps with the healing. I'm more recently trying this hemp jelly, and when I had lots and lots of opportunity to try that when we were up at Arnhem Land. Oh my goodness.
Did you find it effective?
I did. It took that inflammation out of the bites. And then of course there's essential oils that you can use. Lavender is an anti-inflammatory and tea tree is kind of like almost like an antiseptic. And then this one, we haven't really used it.
Have we?
Because we lost it. We lost it until...
We're up in Darwin, and a good friend of the channel, Nadine, and she put us onto this. She said, I use all the time, and it works a treat. And so we went out and we actually got one.
I got it online.
Yeah, got online. How much? Was it much? It cost much?
$40-something, I think it was.
It's not that cheap then.
No, it wasn't cheap, no.
But the idea of these is it's got a little heat pad here which you put over the bite. So if you've got a bite on your hand, you put it over, and there's two buttons. There's I think it's a 3-second button and a 5-second button. So it heats up this little pad for 3 seconds or 5 seconds. You put it on, and it's actually quite hot. But the heat actually triggers something in the burn to draw the itchiness to the surface or something.
Yeah, it's the thing that you're reacting to. It's the actual, you're reacting to.
It draws it out of the body, so it actually will stop itching. One of the other things that we did do, which we haven't talked about so far, is the annex.
Yeah.
The annex, in some ways, we got that to create another outdoor space that we could be insect free. Now obviously if you're only staying somewhere for a few nights, there's no way, you're not going to put the full annex up to make it effective. But we find that we do stay longer term, like at the moment we're here in Mullumbimby and we're here for a month, so we have put the full annex up, and what it means is you can actually spray in here or put the insect repelling things on, and it creates that safe environment outside where you can cook and sit and not be worried about getting bitten or nibbled on by little bugs and insects. So it does create that.
Or being swarmed by flies, Paul.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's been good too. Well, I think that just about covers our little arsenal of bug and insect treatment plan.
A little arsenal?
Hopefully you found that useful, and any information you might want to ask us about what we've got and how it works now, please feel free to drop a comment below.
So, in fact, you might have ideas that we haven't even thought of.
Exactly.
And we're more than happy to hear about that.
As you can tell, we're not afraid to actually try something out and give it a shot.
Yeah.
So anyway, hopefully you can come and join us next time as we continue to explore this amazing country of ours, and share with you some of our tips and hints about what makes our trip experience a better one. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye for now.
Bye.